Hey podcaster, I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can grow your authority and convert with ease. Today's tip is use time travel to fix your long-winded interviews. Oh, you really did it now. You recorded an interview for your podcast that went way too long. Now, you know me, I prefer to blame people rather than take responsibility, but I'm working on this. I still have to say, this is your fault. And there are likely two reasons this could have happened. One, you lost control of your guest and let them run rampant with your show. By the way, for help with this, see episode 63, How to Save Your Podcast from Hijackers. Or the number two reason this happened, you were so caught up in the moment with your amazing guest that you lost track of time. Now, how can I blame you for that? Wait for it. I'm sure I'll come up with something. But either way, your listener loses because you're now making them sit through an episode twice as long because you weren't thinking of them in the first place. Fear not, you can still save your show, share all of the juicy goodness from your guest, and keep your listener happy. What magic do I speak of? The Interview Time Warp. Podcast Time Warp. Podcast Time Warp. The Interview Time Warp is a trick that allows you to cut giant chunks of time out of your interview without leaving anything out. Here's how you use it. Step 1, identify a section of the interview that, while interesting, you're a rock star interviewer, right, can be summed up easily. So that section, we cut that chunk out. Step 2, sum it up. Write a short script that speaks directly to the listener, explaining the key points of that section. Then add a sentence that sets up the next answer from your guest. Step 3, record your time warp script and replace the chunk you cut out. Your time warp is now like a bridge over the section you removed. Step 4, boom, pat yourself on the back. You are a podcast time traveler. Okay, let me give you an example. Your guest finished a great point. You give it a breath and then come in with your time warp. Maybe something like this. And by the way, this could also be separated with a little music sting or a sounder. My conversation with Julia continued, but we took a bit of a turn here, and we spent the next 20 minutes talking about X, Y, and Z. She shared 3 key tips on pulling it off, 1, 2, and 3. Then I asked Julia about ABC. That's it. Then you cut right back to your interview. Simple and sexy, if I do say so myself. And the best part, you can do this more than once if you need to. Now look, if you're doing more than a couple of time warps in an episode, you really need to consider working on your interview skills. Here are 2 more mind-blowing ways you can use the podcast time warp. Number 1, begin with a time warp. This happens all the time. You start the interview and it takes a little while before you get to the really good stuff. Frankly, I feel more people should be doing this. I hate sitting through a 6-minute bio of a guest that the host ripped from the website and reads it verbatim and then asks the guest, so how did you get started in this field? Gag me with a spoon! There is no podcast law that says you have to start at the beginning. Sum this up yourself as a host. Then jump straight into the solid gold. The other way you can use a podcast time warp is to reconstitute the lost content. That interview section that you extracted doesn't have to be lost in space. You can repurpose it as bonus content. It all depends on your show, your audience, and what you might want your audience to do. You might offer it as part of your Patreon library. Share it with newsletter subscribers. Have the full version or transcript as a lead magnet or available on your YouTube channel. If your goal is to have more people to your website, then you could have this bonus content in your show notes and just direct your listener to the show notes. Just remember the main reason for using a time warp. It's to keep your podcast episode on track and to keep it tight and to keep it moving. And you do this for the sake of your listener. Their time is valuable. You're lucky they're spending it with you. Respect it by delivering a consistent show that serves their needs. Don't make them ride the skip button or listen at double time just to get through your overextended conversation. They shouldn't have to manage your podcast. That's your job. And I hope that's just the tip you need. Speaking of time travel, if you want to make a hyper jump in getting results from your podcast, I can help. It starts with a free 15-minute coaching call. I'll fire up the flux capacitor, you show up with your podcast or podcast idea, and we'll take it to the next dimension. Just visit podcastperformancecoach.com. I'm Tim Walberg. See ya!